What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Collective Comics and the Lights Comics Action Podcast. We're diving into episode number 44 today. We went to go see Blue Beetle.
We did.
We went to go see Blue Beetle, and we're going to dive into the movie with the not spoiler-free review.
I was going to say spoilers right now off the bat.
Yeah, we always have to hit them with the spoilers. As usual, I'm joined by the homie Jake.
Homie Jake, hey guys. And
How
hey
you
guys.
doing, man?
Hey guys. Da Bears. Da
Da
Beatles.
Bears. Man, so this was a movie that we didn't see together.
No.
We didn't see together. I don't know if I should spoil the biggest thing yet.
What is, are we going to the end? What is the biggest thing? Because I'm thinking the end is the biggest thing.
The biggest thing is I did not fall asleep in the middle of the movie.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I'm kind of known for like falling asleep.
Yeah.
Now at this point, I feel like it's my thing. But this movie, I was pretty intrigued. I was pretty encapsulated into
That
this
surprises
movie.
me a little bit because I feel like this is, well, we were a couple days ago from when we were recording this, we were on Tommy over at World at War Comics. We did a
Yes.
live stream with him. So go over to World at War YouTube channel and check that out. So we might reference that a few times, but like I said over there, I felt like this was a little bit more slow, but like not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the story, like we didn't get to like a bunch of action until later in the movie, and there was a lot of stuff in between, but I thought it was filled wisely.
Yeah. I feel like I definitely didn't think that it was slow.
Right.
You know, yeah. So which kind of surprises me because I feel like I'm usually it's too slow. It's too slow.
Yeah.
It's too slow. This was too long.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
not
like,
enough
trim the
action.
fat. Yeah, exactly.
You
that
just want
guy.
a 2-hour fight scene. That's what
Exactly.
you're looking for.
Pretty much, you know, but I do like the story.
Mhm.
I don't know if I just didn't notice it because I really don't know all that much. I know more now after the movie about Blue Beetle than I did before the movie.
Yeah.
You know, I knew a couple, key things that I kind of felt like I needed to know, and that like that's about it.
Right.
But I also we both tried very hard to go into this movie pretty like clear-headed, I
Yeah,
guess you could say.
I feel like that's definitely how I went into it. Like I was talking to my wife before I left or went to it. I was like, I'm just gonna go into it. I'm not even gonna think about it being DC or any of the DC stuff going on around it, or
Mm-hmm.
like just another. I don't want to go in just another hero movie, just this, just that, just another origin story. Like I just wanted to go to a movie and enjoy a movie because we don't know what this is involved in. You know what I mean? They've said this and they said that, and they said that it will be part of the DCU eventually, but it might not be. Like I just want to go to a movie. I just wanted to enjoy it.
Right.
And I legit forgot I was in a DC movie for like half the movie. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And then he walked in. He was wearing like a Gotham Law sweater. I was like, oh yeah, this is DC. I forgot. Like I almost completely forgot it was like a hero movie. It was almost like just a sci-fi movie in my head. You know what I mean?
I could see that. I definitely got lost into it, and then when they would say little things here and there, I think about halfway through the movie they said Batman and Superman, you know, in Gotham City and in Metropolis. Oh, go to Metropolis for this. Go to Gotham for that.
Right.
You know, or something, and like that was it.
Right. Yeah. It didn't even, because I mean, none of the Blue Beetle in my mind isn't like a big character, so
Mhm.
like, and they didn't have like unnecessary cameos or anything like they had in Flash, or it was just a good movie. You know what I mean?
They didn't draw your attention out and then make you think about, oh, well, is she even going to be Wonder Woman anymore? Henry Cavill's definitely not Superman, so, like, what's happening,
Yeah.
you know?
It was, the movie reminded me of, like, how like, like, the first Toby Superman was, like, how he stumbled into his powers, and he didn't ask for this, and he didn't know what was happening. He didn't know how to use them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's like the girl and the crush, and he doesn't know how to navigate that. And like it was very like early Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. But the way they disconnected it from everything was very like Moon Knight to me. Like this could be its own thing. It doesn't have to jump into like Justice League or DCU.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, they could very well make this Elseworlds, and nobody would even know the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be attached to anything. But if people like it and flock to it and enjoyed it, then it's easy for them to plug it in wherever they want, you know?
Right. I think that was, we were saying that a few podcasts ago, is that why do they feel like they have to tie in every movie to every other movie previously filmed,
Right.
you know, or prior to it? You know, it was almost kind of getting annoying and fed up, you know, and now we're at a point in time where we're kind of burnt out on hero movies. I think
mean,
a lot of people are.
It's not just, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's very obvious and very publicly known. You know what I mean? Everything that I see is like, it did bad because of this, it did bad because of this. But on every list, on every article, it's like people are burnt out on hero movies. People are burnt out on superheroes. People are, you know, not every movie at the theater has to have a hero or a villain in it. You know what I mean?
Like, I wouldn't necessarily say that people are burnt out on superheroes. I think collectors are really at like a stronger point than ever.
Well, I'm talking just movies in general and the casual viewer, and you know what I mean? Just all the stuff that came from Marvel. It's just like, I think we said in the last podcast, it's like the comics are great. You know what I mean? If you want these stories and you want more stories and, you know, new adaptations and things like that of all these heroes and villains, like comics are great for that. But as far as the movies go, it just feels like we've gotten the same thing over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? So, and it's like, if you look at what's playing, there was a time where it's like 3 of the 9 movies were all like Marvel, DC, or both. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy.
Well, you know, we've probably been to the movie theater more times this year because of the podcast, because we want to go see all these movies, but also because they're force feeding it down our throats so fast, you know?
Yeah.
Mainly Marvel. I feel like we've seen a lot of Marvel movies. Not quite as many DC. We've seen 3, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, what did we see that was Marvel, though, too? You know what I mean? I feel like it's pretty even through the last year. Because we got Black Panther, Guardians, Ant-Man, and then we got Black Adam, Shazam, Blue Beetle, and Flash. Am I missing some movies we've seen?
We might be.
So
maybe
many,
we just talked a lot about the TV shows, just because I think.
Yeah, I mean,
we were super into Moon Knight when that was happening. We watched all the way through, regretfully, She-Hulk.
Yeah,
you know, so that was Marvel. I feel like there was just a lot of Marvel happening.
I think there's just been so many, like the DC stuff and the announcements were very like condensed. You know what I mean? When James Gunn came in, they announced everything all at once, but we've also just gotten so much Marvel news, like with this happening, this isn't happening, this is getting delayed, this isn't getting delayed, so on and so forth, you know? So I feel like through the year, we've definitely covered Marvel more just because of all the news that's come out. But I think we've seen pretty even, you know what I mean?
I guess so. I guess we have seen more DC movies, but I don't know. I guess it does just feel that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. You know what I mean?
I think social media plays a big thing on it, because I'm always just seeing Marvel stuff, and I feel like I'm a way bigger DC fan than I am a Marvel fan. I'm getting up there with some of the Marvel characters. You know, I'm starting to really like to collect some Marvel books, but I'm definitely way bigger of a DC fan, and I have to kind of go out of my way and search for the DC information that I'm looking for when it comes to social media and advertising, and realistically feeling like I'm looking for the news that should be in my news feed because that's what I look at all the time.
Yeah, I feel like
But
that's also
somehow they ignore
been.
it.
I feel like that's also been like a reoccurring thing that we've talked about with DC too. It just doesn't seem like they push their stuff or promote their stuff as well as Marvel is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder what that is. I wonder if that's like a marketing thing or if that's like a evil conspiracy gatekeeping advertising
I have
key.
no idea. It's like even with even with the comics, there's a lot of big stuff that's happened lately in DC Comics, but I don't see it anywhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you just scroll down like Instagram or something and you see Marvel stuff, you see Spider-Man stuff, you see Deadpool news like I do, but I don't see as much DC stuff coming through. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't know why. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's just because of all the announcements that it was so like condensed, and like during that time, I was always DC stuff, and James Gunn is making people mad. Everybody's mad at James Gunn, and it wasn't even like valuable information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
I
people
mean,
being
everybody's still
upset.
mad at him.
Why is everybody so mad about everything? I don't get it.
The dude hasn't done anything yet.
Right.
He's kind of leaked some information, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that
he's
what we
not.
wanted, though?
He's not gonna do anything for 2 years still. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what are we so worried about what he's doing? Like, just let him do his thing, and then once it comes out, once you see a couple movies, then worry about it. Then you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, some people are a certain type of breed, I guess. You know?
I don't know. I did see one article when I was looking up some stuff about Blue Beetle afterwards that the director from Blue Beetle said it was like refreshing to be a part of James Gunn's world in DC than the other one. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he was just scratching the back of his new boss or something, but it sounded like he enjoyed like having James Gunn come in and like what he brought to the table. So that's exciting. You know what I mean? As long as if the directors and stuff are feeling
that's
good
exciting
about
for
it.
like even James Gunn being able to bring in Blue Beetle and do what he, do his thing.
Yeah,
with it.
right. I'm excited about James Gunn. Like we've had some things that we've said that we're like, why does he do this? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm always excited about James Gunn directing anything.
Yeah, I feel like there's really nothing that has disappointed us too much. We love Peacemaker. I don't know if that's a James Gunn thing or if that's a John Cena thing.
Well, James Gunn wrote that and did all of it, so.
Yeah, but I also like it just because it's John Cena.
Yeah. Right.
I think that has a big part in my head on why I like it so much.
I feel like though, if you recast John Cena before knowing it could have been John Cena, like it still would have been a good show. Yeah. If you had John Cena and a different director, it could have been a train wreck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see that, yeah.
Like, you could have got somebody else big and muscular.
Did you hear that?
No. But you could have got somebody else to play that and not even known it was supposed to be John Cena. It could have been good, I think. I think the team worked well, but I think James Gunn carried a lot of the weight in making that a good show.
Probably. Yeah, I guess you can see it in his angle choices and all that kind of stuff. He has a certain type of, I don't know what you could say, aesthetic, which I feel like they tried to kind of capture in this movie. We were on that podcast, and I'm gonna mess up names now, but somebody was saying that James Gunn had directed this movie, and I was like, I think they're mistaken. I don't even think we ended up actually correcting her, but I was like, James Gunn didn't direct this movie, but then everybody kind of agreed. I felt like, and I was just like, I'm not gonna be the one to say anything,
Yeah, I'm not gonna just sit there and correct people.
Right. But
I feel like it was the colors. You know what I mean? Like I feel like James Gunn does really good like color, and like especially you see like Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy, And I feel like the color palette in this one was still that kind of like retro 80s, especially going into the old like Blue Beetle cave, coming from like the retro feel of Guardians into like the retro feel of this with the older stuff. I think that probably helped make you think that it might have been a James Gunn thing.
Maybe.
And I mean, I feel like James Gunn is just throwing around so much right now with DC that it's easy to get that confused. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no doubt. But it definitely, once that was said, I felt like, and I really thought about it, I really felt like they were trying to kind of adapt that type of style, just knowing what they were heading to in terms of DC, because I'm sure everybody involved with getting James Gunn over to DC knew 6 months before we did.
Probably.
You know,
they probably just did the whole movie and then put a James Gunn filter over it. There's just a James Gunn filter
it's AI.
at DC now.
It's an AI editor. Just James Gunn.
They just swiped on Snapchat until they found one they liked, and they just put it on there.
Yeah,
but
that was the suit,
right? But Blue Beetle, I think. Do you want to start with a rating, or you want to come back to a rating?
We'll come back to a rating.
Okay,
we'll come back to a rating.
What did you think of like how the movie started up until like him getting into the suit for the first time?
I really enjoyed the way that it started. It gave me, like you said, that retro 80s vibe, so I kept feeling like, I was like, is this supposed to be in the 80s? No. And then I'm like, oh, quickly no. I liked the pace, and I liked the intro of the movie, especially when they were kind of introducing like his Uncle Rudy, because I have an Uncle Rudy, and shout out because he watches the podcast and sometimes, and it's pretty cool. But he collects comic books and plays guitar. He's really cool, and he reminded me a lot of my Uncle Rudy.
That's funny.
So I was just like, I have an Uncle Rudy. And then George Lopez comes out, and then he's acting the way that he's acting, and I'm like, dude, this is totally my uncle. Like, they just looked at my family and said,
"Really?
Yeah, let's mimic it."
I thought it was cool. Like, they really took. I don't even know how long it was. It didn't even seem like the intro was that long until he got the suit on for the first time.
Yeah. Well,
but you really started to figure out like who this character was pretty quick, and like where his heart was, and where his like where his morals lie and stuff like that. Like, I think they did that really well, and you really started to understand the family dynamic, and you really started to understand like how he feels towards everything that he was doing, and why he was doing the way that things that he was doing, and standing up for Jenny like right at the beginning. And,
right.
I think that was really cool.
He just couldn't help himself.
Right. Yeah. He just wants. It seemed like he was trying to be the best person like he could be with the things he was giving. You know what I mean?
And that's just for the sake of being a good person.
Yeah, and like he went off to college, and he found out that his family was struggling while he was off to college. He was like, I would have dropped out. Like, I would have come home. I would have been here for you. I would have done this. I would have done that. And they were all like, you needed to do that for the family. Like, and you just really started to feel. You almost started to feel like you understood, and you were almost part of the family. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you were like, yeah, you should have stayed there, and we could have helped the family. And like, you were in the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Right. Like you're talking to your cousin or something, and you're like, no.
All right.
Yeah, I felt that way. And one thing that I wanted to ask, when we're on the World at War podcast, but nobody else really seemed to watch Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch Cobra Kai?
I haven't either. Every time I go to watch it, I'm like, there's a lot of seasons of this already. You know what I mean?
I guess now.
I feel like every time I go to see it, there's more naturally, because that's what happens when you don't watch something. Right. I'm like, I feel like I wanted to watch. I'm like, oh, there's 3 seasons. I'm not gonna watch this right now. And then I'm like, oh, there's 4. Oh, I'm not gonna watch 4 seasons. I'm not gonna watch 5 seasons of this.
Right. Well, I guess it's been out for like 4 years now.
Right. I've watched some stuff they did on YouTube, like when the seasons came out, and they were guests on other channels and stuff that I follow. So I kind of knew him, but I didn't know him well enough to, not on like the level that you knew him.
I wanted to see if you kind of saw the resemblance to his character Miguel in Cobra Kai, because I honestly saw a resemblance, and in the first 10 minutes of the movie, it was hard for me to not see Miguel.
Yeah.
So every time they called him Jaime, I was like, who's Jaime?
That's not his name.
Yeah, in my head. So I just kept seeing Miguel. If you watch it, you'll probably do the same thing and be like, that's Jaime.
Yeah.
And do the opposite. So
here's
watch like episode 1 through 3 and figure it out.
Here's my question for you now, because you said that. Like, did you feel like if you took the names out, like they never said Jaime or Miguel, like did you feel like it was just a natural progression? Like this was Miguel's character in Cobra Kai, and now he's becoming Blue Beetle, or were you like, this shouldn't be happening because that's Miguel, and Miguel would never do this?
No, that's not at all. That's 100%.
You thought it was just a normal progression?
Now that you're kind of saying that,
Right.
like I could totally see that being connected. There's going to be some fan theory out there, the crazy fan theory on how Miguel is Jaime and found his family and somewhere else, and
So here's the question though, like did they do it well then? Because you saw the character, but you thought it was a natural progression. Like you weren't taken out of the movie, you just thought it was a progression from another show. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I wonder if that's just like Zolo, which is his name.
Right.
His real name. So I
Maybe
wonder if that's
him
just
as a person.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like how Adam Sandler plays Adam Sandler in every movie.
Right.
Regardless of what he's playing, and the kind of the same thing with like Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like it was really hard for me because Tom Holland, after like between Spider-Man movies, he was in Uncharted, and I just like couldn't unsee it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, why isn't he using like his superpowers? Like this doesn't make any sense.
You
know what I mean?
The web shooters.
So like, I feel like it's cool that you at least felt like it could have been like a progression, or like it wasn't like taking you out of the story. It just was kind of putting you into a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was
but it definitely was a thought in my head that I was like, this could be Miguel,
right?
Type of thing.
I thought it was cool because I mean, from Cobra Kai, then he's already doing action stuff. He's doing fighting. He's doing stuff like that. So I think it was cool that like he could use it. You know what I mean? It's not like he didn't look clumsy doing it. You know what I mean?
Oh no, absolutely.
Everything
not.
he did was pretty cool.
I think he does a lot of his own stunts in Cobra Kai and a lot of his own fighting and stuff like that. So I think that's what kind of helped prepare him, because like he's been doing Cobra Kai for 4 years now, 3 or 4 years. So he's probably been training on the side. He definitely was. I think I said this when we were talking about. I forget who's going to play Superman. Cornswell. Cornswell. I just remember his last name. But we're talking about him and how he needs to bulk up. But that's kind of what I saw with Miguel in the first few episodes of Cobra Kai in the first season. He's this real skinny kid, and then season 2, season 3 happened, and he bulks up and he looks like he does in Blue Beetle.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like, he's definitely fighting. He's definitely training. To be able to do those moves. So it wouldn't surprise me if he does a lot of his own stunts.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like that's the fun part of being like a combat actor.
Yeah, I mean, in Cobra Kai, they're not wearing masks and a full suit of, anything for the whole thing. So I wonder how much, if at all, he was even in the Blue Beetle suit. You know what I mean? I feel
that would be so disappointing.
I feel like, I mean, that's how it usually goes. Wasn't it like, it was like Civil War. Like Ant-Man's in most, like half of that movie at least. And Paul Rudd was on set for like a day. It's always
he just like went and just ad-libbed over it into a microphone.
Yeah, I mean that's how they do it. Yeah, it's like everything that I've seen from like the stuntmen react and all this things that I watch is like if a superhero actor has a mask on, it's not them. Like almost 90% of the time, or not 100. You know what I mean?
Could have been too busy with Cobra Kai because he did have that mask on pretty much the whole time right until the end.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like I wonder if, like we've said before, like I wonder if they stop putting like masks on big actors, like just to have them around and you get the FaceTime more.
Yeah, and that's what I was like so upset about with Star-Lord, because he never has his freaking mask on.
You said the same thing about Ant-Man when we saw it.
Yeah, like why?
Yeah, Black Adam didn't even have his mask on at all during the movie.
He doesn't have a mask.
They just have like a Nightwing, like Robin mask on him.
Yeah, right. Or a wig painted, but it paints on the remember that hairline that the original Black Adam had?
Yeah.
That crazy hairline.
And like horrible ears that don't look like they're connected at all.
Yeah, they didn't even mess around with his ears.
No, they didn't at all.
No, they just left The Rock be The Rock.
I think it'd be crazy if The Rock had like a Nightwing mask, but like when he has the mask on, it's not him, and you're like, that's obviously not The Rock. Like,
right?
They just swap him. Oh man, and maybe the head would have matched.
That was that was The Rock with the big head. You're like, that's not The Rock.
That's not the same. Well, there were a couple of spots of Blue Beetle that I was not like super thrilled about the CG. Like the rest of the movie, like looked great to me. There, like one city shot, I was like, that looks like a projection. Like that looks like a hologram.
I saw it.
And then what is the bad guy? It was the Blue Beetle dude, and then the bad guy. When their suits are like going over their face, is like you could see the swap between like
Carapax.
CG face. Carapax.
Yeah, Carapax.
Oh, for
they
some
never
reason,
said it in the movie.
Yeah, weird.
They never said it, but that's his name because I saw it at
What was she calling
Walmart.
the suit? I guess is what I was thinking.
I forget. Orca. Orca whales.
Orca. But him and oh boy, like there was one point.
Boy.
Oh boy. That's how that CG made me feel. I was like, oh boy. But yeah, I saw
a shitty shot when it like zoomed out really fast or something, and I was like, that doesn't look right. But
I think he was like sitting outside with his dad or something too, and they were like looking at the city, and I was like, that looks like a hologram. But maybe they were probably in a volume. They're probably looking at a volume or a green screen, one of the two. But
yeah, or like what's that? What's those screens that like Mandalorian is filmed with?
Volumes.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you meant by
that. I did think I didn't know this at all until we were in the World at War podcast. I had no idea this was supposed to be in El Paso. I was like, this is Miami, 100%. This is Miami.
Me too.
Like, this is. What do you mean this is El Paso?
Me too. But that's what I was gonna say. Is like the beginning and the logo. It looks like it's supposed to say like Miami something on it. Like and you see, because even the neon lights and everything, you just can see those T-shirts with like a triangle on it, and then it just says Miami in that type of Blue Beetle font.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought
it looks like that. Just says Miami.
Yeah, like Blue Miami.
Blue Miami. Miami Heat. Chicago Bulls.
What?
Chicago Bulls.
Oh, I'm not doing this.
Oh.
If it's not the Lakers, it doesn't matter. How many people just got mad if they heard that? I feel like people either love the Lakers or they hate the Lakers. So.
Yeah.
Same thing with like the Yankees.
I know speak of basketball. I speak baseball. I can speak baseball.
Hit ball,
but I can't speak basketball.
Ball, throw ball, catch ball, run.
Right. He broke his ankle. I watched basketball a little bit just because my bass player, Kamran, refuses to not watch every single Magic game there is. Really? So I constantly hear about that, and he's actually the announcer now. Well, doing something with the announcers for the Magic. I'm like, dude,
you completely removed me from sports, and I thought he was playing Magic: The Gathering. Like that's
the Orlando Magic.
I got it now.
I got it now.
Oh man, Yeah, I mean, the rest of the movie was kind of just more of the same, like just good progression, like good character building, family building. The part where grandma was a crazy like soldier or something with the cartel or who knows
dude.
what.
She was definitely like in the cartel for sure.
She puts her braids down and grabs a big gun. She's like, "Let's go."
Yeah, she just couldn't. She refused to say anything. That's a story for later. Nah,
right, yeah.
nah. I'm like, that's cartel crap right there, man.
There's something going on.
You were in the Mexican mafia, weren't you? Like, you know what you're doing,
right?
Because she knew how to hold that gun a little too well.
I mean, she was doing it,
and there was no way that she was CG'd. She held that gun. she actually, though, I did have one thing with that. She's sitting there yelling, shooting the gun, and it's rapid firing, dude. She's holding down that trigger, and she's shouting and aiming like this and doing exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
There was no recoil to it, and I was like, why didn't they just like shake her or something? Like, shake, grandma, shake.
Well, the old Blue Beetle, what's his name, Ted or whatever?
Yeah.
He made it. He made the gun without recoil. That's why.
Oh, there's no recoil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he made it. He made
a
special.
that makes sense. He removed physics.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out how to do it in the Blue Beetle suit.
There's something built into the gun with like springs and absorption, and it absorbs the recoil from the barrel. So yeah, it's a whole thing. I would get into it, but you wouldn't understand.
What issue?
What
issue is that from?
No, I have the blueprints.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Yeah. He discussed it with me before he built it. I gave him some critiques, and
you helped on set?
No, I helped in real life with the original Blue Beetle.
Oh, with Ted? You knew Ted?
Yeah. I was good friends with him. That's why the mid-credit scene excited me so much, because I thought he was gone.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, my friend might come back. Yeah,
he's gonna replace me, isn't he?
Yeah, probably. He knows more about Blue Beetle than you do.
Yeah, he does.
This is gonna just become an all Blue Beetle podcast with the homie Jake and Ted.
And Ted.
Court. Ted, and Teddy.
Ted. Ed, Nettie.
What did you have a favorite part of the movie other than the grandma being part of the cartel?
Okay, not that it was my favorite part, because that almost sounded way bad, because I almost answered it way too fast. Because I was almost just straight up like, when the dad died.
Oh.
But that was actually, not to say that was my favorite part of the movie, but I cried both times.
It was emotional. It was like super, it was like very, it was very Guardians 3, and my emotions for Rocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
to the point where
why are they doing this to me?
I forgot that I was looking at a screen. I forgot that I was in a movie theater. I was just so in the moment. I felt like I was watching this happen, and then I'm like, he can't even mourn with his family because he's getting taken, and I'm like, oh my god,
dude! I was just in the back row, ugly crying.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I said I was gonna cry because Mikey didn't say cowabunga, but that this one actually made me cry. I was joking at the other one.
Is it weird that I think I was more sad when Rocket died? Like I feel like I was closer to Rocket than this guy.
My fiance Nicole said the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, how? But she was crying because I looked over and she was crying.
Oh yeah, I teared up. I teared up for sure. But I think during Guardians 3 I teared up like multiple times.
Yeah, that one she was really crying, but she was like,
they like gave it back to us. It was like, okay, everything's okay, and then they're like, yoink, and they ripped it back out of you.
Yeah.
And then they gave it back. She's like, oh, do you want it back? I'm sorry. Yoink. It's like, no. Rocket. No.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
this one was definitely emotional too. It was very similar to me. Like I feel like this had a lot of the good elements of a bunch of movies into one movie, and it just was a good movie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't think it was great. I don't think it's the best movie ever, but it was far from the worst DC movie we've seen in the last few years.
Yeah. I wanted to walk out of that theater screaming.
Really?
Yeah, just because I was I liked it a lot, and I almost want to go as far as to say that I liked it more than Black Adam. I just also remember the feeling of Black Adam when Henry Cavill came out on the screen.
Yeah.
That one really, I was like, it's happening, and
Yeah.
nope, another yoink.
Yeah, right. I feel like this movie had more dynamic than it was way more dynamic than Black Adam. Black Adam, I just felt like
I felt like it had a very good story though.
I feel like that was like
with the kid
your
and his
action
family
movie.
and
You know what I mean? I feel like that was like your action movie. It had enough filler just to like give the action some purpose.
Yeah.
But like I feel like by the time like action happened in Blue Beetle, you were like you understood why it was happening. You know what I mean? Like you would have reacted similar if you were in the same situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, they're just screaming.
Right, yeah, being angry, or even when the dude like they connect and Jaime doesn't kill him, and then he grabs her and walks into the fire and blows himself up, and he's like, you're like, he like there was something that happened and you felt it, like you knew exactly. He got all his memories back and saw what happened, and like it was wild. You know what I mean? Like there were definitely parts of this movie that were like, holy cow.
Yeah, full of ups and downs. Finding, I don't know. It was, I think, yeah, it was definitely better than Black Adam. But I feel like the thing is everything surrounding with Black Adam is what makes me always like not like Black Adam anymore,
Right.
Like if they were to still be able to bring Superman back, or if they would have done it without Henry Cavill and with Henry Cornswell or Harry Cornswell, whatever his name is, I forget now. But done it with
I'm
that.
I'm still just irritated. Like you didn't need Superman. Like you could have had a movie in between. You know what I mean? And everything would have been different.
They did, because I feel like that's the whole thing. Everybody wanted to see that fight because that's an iconic fight. That's a big key book. So
but you literally had Shazam coming out after that. Like you could have done different things, and like I don't know. You like painted yourself into a corner with that one, I feel like.
Now but that was The Rock doing. I feel like that was The Rock being The Rock and being like, "No, we have to do this,"
right?
And didn't listen to DC, and now he like burnt his bridge with them.
Yeah. Anyways, Blue Beetle, good movie.
Yes.
I want your rating now. What's your rating?
My rating? I really don't have any reason to knock it, to be honest. There was like 2 frames of the movie that I was like, oh, CG's not, could have been better. But it definitely wasn't no falling babies.
No.
He's like, no.
No.
It definitely, I was like, yeah, that could have been a little bit better. I'm going to give it a 9.
Really?
I'm going to give it a 9 because I feel like I gave Black Adam a 7 or an 8. So I feel like this one has to be a 9 out of 10. Just because the heritage that was in there, the family setting, the story, the ups, the downs, the heart, pulling on my heartstrings like that. If you pull on my heartstrings like that, you're going to be one of my more favorite movies.
Yeah.
And it kind of just set up like a whole Blue Beetle universe on its own, which is awesome.
Yeah, they could. I feel like they could go a lot of different ways with this.
Let's go with the TV show. Let's do a show.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. We talked about that in on the World at War podcast. There is a show coming. It's not with Jaime or whatever his name is, but it's with Ted and Buster. You're gonna have to help me with that one. Booster Gold.
Yeah,
there's supposed to be like a comedy series coming out with them.
But I think that they said that's only if Blue Beetle does well.
I mean,
I think we're at like a quarter of the goal.
I feel like Warner Brothers always has that stipulation where I feel like that's Marvel will be like, this is what we're doing. Here it is. You know what I mean? We're going to tell our story regardless. Where like,
take it.
Warner Brothers will be like, you liked it, but you didn't like it enough. Goodbye. Like,
yeah.
you're never getting it again.
Right.
So we'll see. I think I'm gonna give it. I feel like I'm gonna give it an 8, and that's high because I came out of I came out of the theater thinking 6, but after like sitting with it and talking about it not twice, like this is a good movie. Like like I said, I don't think it's a great movie. Like I don't think it's the best movie, but yeah, you make the point. Like I think it's way better than Black Adam. I feel like I'd only watch Black Adam again because of The Rock. You know what I mean? Not because of anything else.
And most people won't watch Black Adam again because of The Rock.
Because of The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 8. Yeah, I think 8's good.
8 out of 10 and a 9 out of 10 rounds it up to an 8.5. I don't know.
Right.
Right. We need some more sound effects and stuff like that. We need to get a soundboard going. I think I have one.
Oh. You had like claps or something in our first episode on Riverside.
I got one. We're looking for probably good. Yeah. I was hoping they had like those rap horns or something.
Yeah, the air horn.
Yeah. 8.5 out of 10. Yeah.
Today on Lights, Comics, Action. Okay, all right.
We're done.
That's enough.
I'm done.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say about it. I think it was I'm trying to think of like another DC movie that I liked better.
Batman 89.
You're going all the way to 89. This is the best DC movie since 89. Tell me.
There's probably a better one.
I mean, I'm excluding like the Batman and Joker because now those are Elseworlds, so I feel like they're DC. They are DC, but I don't think they're not part of any universe except for their own. So like those stand.
Multiverse, bro.
It's the multiverse. It's the multiverse.
Is Across the Spider-Verse not part of any universe except its own?
Yeah.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
But I think I'm excluding those. So I feel like James Gunn's Suicide Squad I liked. Other than that, like, I mean, I like a lot of the Harley stuff. Like, I watched Birds of Prey, and I didn't think it was a bad movie. You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't
like that one.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Well, people have problems with women leads too, so screw them.
Harley freaking Quinn.
Yeah. Yeah. Good movie.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Very good movie.
Very good. Very good, sir. Thank you.
All right. Very good. Very good.
Very good.
But, yeah, I think this is a great movie. This is one that I'm probably gonna have to go back. You know, you went back for Ninja Turtles. I think I went back for Black Adam, so I'm gonna have to go back.
You did
2
go
more
back
times.
For Black Adam. You were like there the next day.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go back 2 more times for Blue Beetle, and then I'm gonna buy like a collector set, whatever.
You did buy the tin.
I
bought the tin on the way
this
in, dude.
The start of the tin. I think I want to start picking them up as we go and see them. Just
really?
So, yeah, because I remember AMC. The thing is that we don't go to AMC, but they almost got me to go there because they had a Spider-Man head. It was a Miles Morales head that you would put popcorn in.
I almost went to AMC too because I was going by myself, and it's like 3 minutes from my house, and I was like, I'm driving the half hour.
Yeah, we go out of the way for the better theater for sure. Just AMC is just so crappy every single time. So sponsors, and we'll talk about you better. Not really, but
I feel like it's the AMC that I go to too, because like when we went back to Turtles, we did go to an AMC, a different AMC, and it was nicer. But it was also like the one that we go to is so loud, like you can't hear other people talking, like you almost feel like you're in the experience by yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where like when we saw Turtles, like there was somebody behind me talking the entire time, and I felt like I was sitting like in their mouth. That's how it was like they were talking. You know what I mean? Like they were having the conversation with me. Like
you're right.
No, I don't want that experience.
It's
Like,
oh.
if I had the volume, I would be clicking it, turning it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it was Shazam. Shazam 2. It was the first time we went to Imagine. It was so loud.
No, I thought it was there was one that we went to AMC. We went to AMC for one movie and that was it. And we're like, that's the last time we're doing that. And you were getting kicked.
It was
your
Ant-Man.
seat was broken.
Yeah.
It was Ant-Man?
Like I said, I think that's the one by us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than like people talking, like the AMC that we went to when we went back to Turtles wasn't that bad. It wasn't a bad experience. It just wasn't recliners. You know what I mean? It's not recliners.
Yeah, I mean, I like paying a few dollars less actually for those recliners.
Well, yeah, it depends on when you go. I don't know. I can go. The AMC thing, like their rewards program, sounds really good though.
I think they have one at Imagine,
but I don't think it's.
They have one.
I do want to get it. It's good because the AMC one is like three free movies a week.
Well, this one's completely free. You don't pay $25 a month for it.
But I mean, 3 movies a week.
Yeah, but why do you need to go to the movies that much? We're already complaining that we have to go to the movies so often.
I'm not complaining because I have to go to movies. I'm complaining because I have to pay for the movies.
Dude, hold up. The guy that hates going to the movies is gonna get the AMC pass for 3 movies a week
for the movie theater I don't want to sit in.
Yeah, that you always are like, well, not my couch. Don't like it.
Yeah, I know. but I would have went to see Barbie. I would have went to see Oppenheimer. I would have went to see Mario
Barbie
when it was in theaters. I literally only went to the movies we went to together.
Really? I've been a couple more times than that. I like the drive-in. I go to the drive-in a lot. Actually, I love the drive-in.
Back home, there was a drive-in, and there was like a spot on the edge of it. You could sit on the road. You could see over the fence.
That's great. Just tune in. You're like, yes.
Right. I just remember I would always be driving home and I'd be like, oh, what movies are they watching?
That's funny.
Now I got the van, dude. Like, I should just put a bed in the van and just go to the drive-in. That's what we should do.
Yeah.
We should just cuddle on a bed in the van. And
that sounds like a plan, actually.
I call Little Spoon. I think that's it, man. Blue Beetle. 9. What did we say? 8.5 out of 10 between the two of us.
8.5 out of 10.
Be sure to go check out World of Wars Comics, their YouTube. Tommy had us on to talk about Blue Beetle. It was a little live podcast. There's a couple issues. They're on the West Coast dealing with the storm right now, so hope Tommy's doing all right. We're gonna have to check on him, man.
Yeah, I'll have to shoot him a text once we finish up here.
Right on. Other than that, just check out the description for things like free money. Get $10 when you use our link to sign up for Whatnot. Use it anywhere on the site. 10% off Dubby.gg when you use code Collective Comics at checkout. And until next time, this has been
Collective Comics. We'll see you.